Right, boys. Hello again. It is day 140 something, and I'm back, of course. Yeah, I think today I've probably written the equivalent of about, I don't know how many words. I don't know how many words, but a lot of fucking words. A lot of pages of writing. Probably about, probably 20 pages of writing today. I've been doing some while I've been sat downstairs. I was at a coffee shop from about 11 o'clock until 4, and then I got back, I barely even chilled out. I watched the F1 qualifying. And then I've just been sat here ever since with the TV on, with tennis on, writing. It's currently a bit of a shitty tennis match on right now, so I've just been writing, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna record this video, and then I'm gonna go to bed relatively soon, and we go again tomorrow. If you've been watching the videos, you'll realize that I have been putting this thing together for the last few weeks, and it's gonna continue. I'm basically scripting a load of stuff for this product that we're releasing, and in the process of which I've got to sit here and write a lot of stuff. Probably over 100 episodes of different topics on how to grow on social media, how to optimize the algorithms, all this stuff that I like do with creators that I work with, Ryan Trahan, whatever, Thogden, whoever it is, and I've teamed up with someone to bring that into fruition. I'm writing all the stuff. We're both going to record the stuff each. He's going to record some. I'm going to record some. It's just like a duo project, but I'm doing it with a pretty big creator. You're gonna find out at some point. But yeah, I mean, it's just writing. And the more that I write, the more it's like just easy. It just gets so easy to just like relentlessly write about stuff, especially when it's stuff that you know and you don't have to sit there and contemplate on or do research on much. And when you are researching, it's something you enjoy. Like when you did school and you had to write at school, it was so boring. I think you all agree with me because you're writing about fucking Shakespeare, and in doing so, it's like the most boring thing because no one gives a shit about Shakespeare unless unless you enjoy Shakespeare that much that you enjoy writing about random shit about Shakespeare or whatever it is, or was it Inspector Calls, like that kind of stuff is so boring, bro. So no wonder we all find writing boring when we're in school. We're like, oh, I can't be asked writing. I don't want to write. It's boring. It's boring. It's boring. I don't want to do it. It's boring. But now when I finish school and I'm working, writing's actually enjoyable. I enjoy writing. I think because I'm writing about something that I know about, I'm knowledgeable on. I'm writing for an outcome that I actually give a shit about. I'm writing about something that I actually know, something that I'm passionate about. I think I might have just said that as point number one. But the point is, like, it's so easy to write when you actually know what you're writing about and it's something that you're actually interested in. So, yeah, I've just been writing on this stuff. I've also been writing. I just completed a 10-page proposal to this this creator about running his YouTube channel moving forward, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, I've just been doing a lot of writing the last few weeks, well, the last few days especially, and it's coming to an end now. I'm getting it all done. I think there's still about, I want to say, 30 more to do, probably less than that actually, maybe like 20, 25. But yeah, I'm just blueprinting it all out so we know exactly what to say at each episode. We don't miss certain points. And yeah, I just want to say, like, the more you do things, the more of like a, I don't want to say threshold, like ease. It gets easier for you to do things the more you do it. You just like grow a, what's the word? Grow a something to it. Like, it gets easier the more you do it. Because if I said to you, like a random guy on the street, more often than not, I say, can you write me a 30-page document on this? And an average person, they'll be like, that's fucking long, I can't be asked. Or like someone who's just come out of school, like, yeah, that's fucking long, I just can't be fucked. Whereas if you were to ask me to do that, I wouldn't really think too much of it because, like, I've done it so much that it makes it so easy to do something like that. Like back when I was a kid, or like even not that long ago, I would be I wanted to, I'd like think of the idea of writing a book, right? And I'd be like, that, mate, that is a fucking long process. Like, imagine writing all that stuff, like 200, 300, 400 pages of word, of text. But now when I think about it and think about writing in general and writing a book, it actually isn't that big of a, what's the word? It isn't that big of a, or it's not overwhelming. It's not overwhelming. I don't think that's the word that I'm looking for, but it works. Like, I don't think of it as overwhelming, really. Like, I've just written a 10-page document on this. I've written another 10-page marketing strategy. I've written another 10-page proposal. And I think I got a Grammarly thing email like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and it said that in the last week, not month, week, I wrote 70,000 words. And then I looked up what a book is, like an average book, and an average book is about 50 to 80,000 words or something like that, or is it like 60 to 90, something like that. So in the last week, I've done the equivalent of write a book in the amount of stuff that I've written. And yes, some of the stuff is going to be messages, not many, because I mean, there's not that many messages that I send, but of course, some's going to be like going into messages. Obviously, that adds up. That's probably about 10,000, 20,000. But in general, the rest of it is just text. So what I'm saying is this: things get easier the more you do them. You just kind of like create a threshold. It like gets easier the more you do it because it's less overwhelming to think like, I'm gonna write 10 pages when you've already written 10 pages a load of times in the past, like recently. Whereas if you just went to someone and just said, "Can you write me a 10-page document?" It's like, fucking hell, 10 pages. That's gonna take ages. So I think the more you do things, the less like overwhelming they look. The less kind of like scary they kind of are perceived, I guess, by you. So I think it might seem like I'm just talking a load of nonsense, but it makes sense in my head. But yeah, man, like the more you do things, the easier it gets. Like you just create a threshold. Even with uh whatever it is, right? The more you do it, the easier it is. Like if you go into a business, you want to start a business and you've never done one before and you've never done what a business like needs and what's needed to actually fulfill in a business or make a business successful, it's gonna feel like this massive task. You're like, you got to work out so much shit. But when you've done it before, and you've done it loads of times, and you've done certain things like sales calls, outreach, whatever. It then is like not as big a deal, because you've already done it so many times, and you just kind of like know the ropes. And it's like, yeah, this isn't a big deal. I've done this loads of times before. So of course you've got to go and do the hard things to actually get into that position of thinking like that and thinking in that specific like mindset. But it really just comes down to I think I'm saying the same point, but it's so important. It's leaving your comfort zone and doing things that aren't necessarily comfortable and are actually seeking discomfort. So, like simply put, seek discomfort, right? I think you need to be seeking discomfort if you want to achieve anything. Because if you're just sat in your comfort zone, you're never going to do anything, right? Like if everything was easy, everyone would do it. If it was comfortable, if everything you were doing was comfortable, like where's the value in it? Everyone would do it. So you've got to be willing to go out of your comfort zone out and do something boring. Be disciplined. Do something you don't want to do because that's where you're going to get success. And I don't know, it might seem like I'm just preaching stuff. I know I'm only 21 now, so it's going to be like this guy's chatting shit. What's he achieved? I'm 21. I'm obviously not a fucking billionaire. I'm 21 again, like. But I mean, I think I'm doing all right for my age. I don't want to. Like no ego on that. It's just yeah. It's like I think I've got enough credibility to say certain things. So I mean, again, I'm just kind of like thinking out loud, honestly. And if you gain some value from it, you do. If you don't, then no biggie. But yeah, man, just do the things that you don't necessarily want to do. You know, and make it as frictionless as you can to do certain things. I think that's another key point because, like, I look at my work and I'm like, right, what's taking away from my focus? And I genuinely believe the thing that was taken away from my focus was Spotify. Like, genuinely, it's weird. Like, you'd probably think like, nah, you can just listen, you can just write where you've got music on. But the amount of like songs, or you get caught like, I don't know, like singing or thinking about the song, or then you want to change the song, and then you're in that mode of like changing the song, and then you're never actually fully focused on your work, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I'm not focused. I'm just gonna go check Instagram quick, then Twitter. It's like all ties down to Spotify. If I just completely nailed and like completely got out of the way, which I have done, it makes everything so much easier. And I think, again, social media is a massive distraction, but I now don't have any social media apps installed on my phone. The only one I've got installed um, is Snapchat, because I can't access that on my computer. But then again, I don't use Snapchat. Like, I probably go on there now and I've got like 20 people um, who have been left undelivered. Genuinely. Like, I don't use it. So, yeah, it's just like a childish app, bro. I like, just talk on WhatsApp or talk on Instagram. Like, I don't know. I get it if you're trying to pull girls and want to send photos and shit and just be charismatic or whatever, but honestly, at that point, like, unless you're the sexiest guy in the world, just sit there sending voice notes and makes your life 10 times easier. That's like boy to boy. If you want, of course, I don't know why you're taking relationship advice from this guy, because I'm currently sat here in my sitting room with tennis on the TV talking to you guys. And if you go through my videos, I'm recording a video every single evening from my desk. It's not like I've got the craziest relationships going on. Let's be real. But yeah, it's yeah, Snapchat's just a waste of time. Basically, I've just gone on a whole rant about Snapchat. Like, just use a fucking grow up, bro. Just grow up. But yeah, you just gotta realize what your distractions are, and then get rid of them. And then the more longer you can get rid of them, the easier it is for you to do the hard things, because you've already kind of like avoided them. If that makes sense. Like, there's no other way. There's no distractions taking you away from the thing that you should be doing. Like, if you've got Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, when you're focused, there's so many other options that can take you away from what it is that you need to be doing. Whereas, if the only thing you can be doing at that moment is work, and everything else is so like has so much friction between you going on YouTube, you going on Instagram, whatever, then the only thing you can do is the work that you need to do, and that's how you're gonna achieve things. And that's the thing that I've implemented the last few weeks, because I've just got to be writing text all day, really, until all the text is done, and then I just move on. It's like a process. It's a roadmap, whatever. We're getting through the roadmap pretty quick, actually. But yeah, with that said, thank you for watching the video. Really and truthfully, if I'm going to put everything into one sentence, seek discomfort, because nothing comes from being in the comfort zone. You've got to do things that you haven't done before to achieve things that you haven't accomplished before. That's the first thing. Second thing, fuck. Second, second thing, if you want to make things easier, you need to do them more. So it's kind of contrary, because you've got to do them first to actually make them easier. But you've got to go through the hardships to get to the easier times, if that makes sense. So seek discomfort, do those things. The more you do them, the easier it's going to get, because the more you do them, you're like, yeah, I just do that all the time. It's fine. It's no big deal. You're just going to build that trust in yourself, build that discipline. Be like, yeah, I do that all the time. I go to the gym all the time. I do this all the time. It makes it 10 times easier for you. So yeah, with that said, thank you for watching, and I will be back tomorrow night as always. And it's just a shame I'm not playing in this tennis tournament, eh? But you know, maybe one day. Anyway, cheers, boys. See you tomorrow night, and keep doing what you're doing. Cheers.